Hey, what's up, everyone? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. We're coming at you with episode 29, and we're recording on Monday, February 25th, 2019. I'm Doug, and joining me today, as always, we have Warren.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And Anita.
Hello.
And just a friendly weekly reminder to please like, subscribe, download, leave us feedback and questions at SojuTalkPodcast@gmail.com, YouTube, Reddit, all K-pop, anywhere else you find us. Please leave us feedback because it's only going to make the show better. But
follow us on Instagram.
Oh yeah, Instagram too. Warren's working on that these days.
I want to be more active on the the Square's social media platform.
But before we start today's episode, we got fan mail again from Jonathan. Yo, what's up, Jonathan?
Yo, what's up?
Hi, Jonathan.
Yo, it's a small
up,
world
Wolverine?
Because one of the things Jonathan said was that he's a student at the University of Michigan. I don't know if he knows this because we haven't said it in maybe 20 episodes, but the three of us met at University of Michigan.
Go Blue.
Go Blue!
In fact, Warren and Anita are seniors there right now. They're still there,
Go
bro.
Blue, you motherfucker! Go Blue!
I think that was hilarious. I don't know if he knew or not, but it would be hilarious if he didn't. And I would like him to send us a follow-up if he knew or not, because interesting stuff. But on top of the fan mail, Jonathan also left us a question. So we're going to answer it at the end of the podcast. So if you want to stick around for that, please do. So that will come towards the end. But let's get into the big new releases this week. So let's see. Back last Tuesday, on February 19th, Loona came back with Butterfly. And the day after, February 20th, Wednesday, Yoon Ji-sung had his solo debut. And also SF9 came back with Enough. So the first song, let's talk about Loona's Butterfly. Okay.
Okay.
I like it.
Here's my one take on this song.
Is it a hot take or a cold take?
It's a
Medium?
lukewarm take.
Okay, lukewarm take. Go.
I
go
really
for it.
like the song, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
I
okay.
think objectively, musically, great song. But is it a song that will push a group into a higher tier? Not really. For me,
I
at least.
100% agree. 100% agree. Right? Because this album release, is supposedly supposed to be the repackage of the previous album
Right.
that came out when we started the podcast more than half a year ago.
That has the Run song, right? That I like.
Right. The Hi song. It's
Hi. That's it. Okay.
It's too old. It's too late for a repackage. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I kind of agree with that, but I really like the song. I think it has a great message. The music video is awesome. When I watched it, I was like, wow, they hired all these dancers and other people to be in it. That was the thing that was, because that's a bold move from their company. Now, as I said before, I think this is a great song. It's stuck in my head. I listened to it maybe 50 times, I think. No, because it's cold out, and this is the perfect cold weather song for me, at least.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's their fault. I think it's more the company's fault that it's not a song that will make a group a superstar, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think for me, I like the song, and I guess I don't necessarily mind that it's not super eye-catching, super poppy, because I feel that they're solidifying their own style.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like I can tell that it's Loona just because of the choreography and the way the song progresses, but I don't know. I hope it does well.
Back when Hi came out, right? It got fuck ton of criticism from both the fans, the people who were fans before their official debut, and all the critics, because it was apparently very, very different from what they were doing before, right?
Yeah.
And I think Butterfly is a lot similar to what they were doing.
I agree.
Before
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think in a good way. Yeah.
Hi is traditional bubblegummy, maybe a little Japanese influenced K-pop, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Butterfly is more of a high art level song. If I had to put it in a way, it's more of an artsy song, like a concept song. Here's the thing though, in the K-pop world as a whole, the industry, fast-paced, more traditional songs are the ones that make groups into superstars. TT is the song that made Twice superstars, right? Essentially.
Right.
Now, I think this is a good springboard for Loona to come with the more commercial song, their next one. Still doing the high art type of thing, but if they go, I think, a tad bit more mainstream, it'll be the perfect mix for them as a group going forward, which will catapult them into like top tier.
Yeah, I think it's right. I personally, I don't think they're going straight into let's catapult them right into popularity. My guess, maybe this is a hot take. My guess is they're going to come back sometime around August or maybe earlier July or something like that.
Oh, summer.
When it's the summer and it's more
Yeah.
appropriate to do high-paced songs. Fast-paced songs, and then they come out with something like that again, and then by then they'll have a good library of things for incoming new fans to kind of dig into.
I think that next song is going to be the song that catapults them, like straight up. That like you could. I'm willing to bet on that. I think they're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna win anything for this one. If they do, watch. Whenever I say that, they win it the next day. It's happened like 3 weeks, in a row, something like that. I'm hoping it happens. Like I hope they win for this song. But if they don't, I will almost assure you that they will win for their next song. That's the guarantee from Doug. Like I'm guaranteeing they will win with their next song. You can quote me on that and make fun of me if it doesn't happen.
I'm gonna write that down and quote you 6 months later.
Please do, because I really like this Butterfly song. I feel like this is the song where they're like winding up to punch the K-pop world in the face. I also want to give praise to their dancing. Like I've always said, Loona is the female 17 in terms of dance level right now, where they can handle the large group and it still looks good. And I always do the counter argument of like an Uju Sonyo who doesn't know what to do with all their members when they do the choreography.
Jesus.
But I think Loona definitely, out of like, because they're not, I would consider them they're not from a huge company, right? Which company are they from? Oh, I forgot.
Blackberry
Creative. It's a small company, right?
Part of Polaris, which is not that small.
Yeah, but they're not a big 3/4, right? Like straight up here.
Yeah.
They ain't working with those huge of a budgets. And they were the group that we said we think they have only like 15 employees a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
15? No, it was like 3.
Oh yeah, it was 3 when you minus the kids, right?
Yeah.
But I do feel that I don't want to call them Yeojachingu because Yeojachingu is also from a small company, but they've had huge amounts of success. But they're sort of that realm, right? Where it's because of the talent is there, where their talent can speak and push them higher than traditionally their company level would have them at.
Right.
Overall, for me, good song. I really liked it.
Yes.
So last week, you just announced out of nowhere that by this week, you'll have picture bias.
Okay. I was hoping no one would bring this up.
I had to think of a bias. I had to pick
Warren,
one.
Warren, go first. Let me make the game time decision here while you tell us about yours.
Can I actually cheat and pick 2?
Sure, why not?
All right, okay. My 2 is Hassel.
Okay.
And Olivia He.
Olivia He, really?
Yeah. I don't know, something about her just enticing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Warren. Okay.
She kind of reminds me of like Chang Won-young.
Really?
But
that's
something
a bold
about her.
statement.
Something about her reminds me of Chang Won-young. I don't know what it is, but her mouth is like when it's like it's kind of down facing, if you know what I mean.
Can I pick 2? Can I pick 2 as well?
You can pick 2. How's it in her short hair?
I will also pick Hasu.
There we go.
Wow.
My second one. Okay, prepare yourselves. Is Chu.
Aw, Chu.
Because she's so cute.
Oh, Chu.
That's my second choice. Yeah, but we'll see. Cause you know how like if I'm not deeply invested in the group, it's like flavor of the month, depending on who has the best styling for that comeback. You know how it is with me. But for now, those are my 2 biases, and those are Warren's 2 biases. And you can call us flaky when next comeback we choose 2 different people.
Nah, fuck that. I ain't changing. I'm with the shit.
But let's move on to Yoon Ji-sung's solo debut, In the Rain. So as we all know, Yoon Ji-sung is the former leader of 101. Now he's doing his own thing before he goes to the army. Unfortunate timing for him. For me, I really like this. I thought it was fine.
The video was really pretty.
It was artistic as heck.
Yes.
Yeah.
It gave me 2 a.m. vibes, even though there was only one guy.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
Warren, do you got anything to say about this?
I don't like ballads. I'm sorry.
I know. I was getting that out of the way. Now,
Yeah, I mean, I like the music video. It was really well filmed. I really like what they did.
Yes.
I like the special effects they had with the little tall building and shit and the little fucking window.
now
Clouds.
the
Yeah.
interesting thing that's come out of this is this music video has been out, what is it, like 5 days now, I think. Yeah, last Wednesday was out 5 days. And it only has 600,000 views. In comparison, Loona already has over 10 million. Additionally, the 101's last song got 600,000 in 2 hours. There is objectively, this is not my own opinion, this is the truth, extreme fall off of 101 fans onto his solo project. Little strange to me. Just gonna put that out there. Now, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's because it's a ballad. Maybe people don't like the song. Maybe, but what fans think on the articles I've read is that people who supported 101 were heavily invested into one or two kids, and that's it. Where they didn't really care about some of the other kids as like the group as a whole. Overall,
Yeah, that would be my guess too, right? Because Jin Jisung debuted as rank 8, which
yeah, he
isn't
wasn't
low.
super popular because number one, he was he was very old relative to everyone. I think when they started that, he was 25 or 6.
Right.
And of course, he's also from the same company as Kang Daniel. So how are you going to compete with that, right?
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that there's been lots of articles lately since 101 broke up talking about potential success post 101 in a similar fashion to post success IOI. We'll have to see, but he has terrible, like, unfortunate timing because he's going to the army by the end of the year too. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I thought that the song was perfectly adequate for a solo debut. I thought the art concept and the filming was beautiful. I honestly thought he sounded fine. Nothing to complain about. It's just surprising to me. The main takeaway for me, I was just surprised at the view count. And I don't think it's good when I'm more distracted by the view count than the song. Do you know what I mean? I was reading through the comments, and even most of the English comments were like, "Wannables, where are you at?" That's what most of the comments were.
It kind of makes us recognize what kind of fandoms
in Korea specifically,
exist around boy groups and girl groups, right? Because even when back when Produce 48 was going on, like I noticed that like a lot of the 101 fandom would be very highly invested in certain parts of the group and not.
Wait, are you talking about PD 101 season 2 or PD 48?
No, back when I was like really invested in PD 48, I noticed that season 2 fans were doing that.
Like
I went back and did research. That's what I meant. Sorry,
Yeah, I think that's more. I want to say that's more the case with in Korea, at least with female fans of guy groups. Generally pick one dude and that's it. Where
it's a similar issue with girl groups too. Just female.
It's just more magnified though, because a lot of the Sasang fans are females who follow guys around.
Yeah.
I think it's a little unfortunate that it's the case right now. Like 600,000 though is a little shocking for 5 days out, especially from the former leader of 101. I don't know.
Yo, Highlight Records has 750 views for their music video that dropped like a week or two ago. That's kind of sad. Like that's an indie label.
Okay, well, if we're gonna go on like things that are sad, here's one other thing. So Giant Pink, who's a very famous female rapper in Korea, right? She's at Antenna. Antenna, or is she at Mystic?
She's at Mystic.
She's at Mystic, which is a subsidiary of SM, right?
Yes.
SM teased her stuff on their SM Station channel, and then they posted the video on because she's a part of an even smaller branch now. They posted it on the smaller branch, and that page has under 10,000 subscribers.
What?
They did her mad dirty. SM did.
What?
Yeah.
Her SM Station release?
It's not on SM Station. If you look up Giant Pink's new video, it's on a tiny YouTube channel.
Wait, what's going on? Let me just look this up.
I'm telling you, man, it's on AIKM's channel, which has 1.7 thousand subscribers. That's it.
I might understand why they're doing this.
Because they're trying to build up a new label, I believe.
They've been trying to build up this new label for a long time now.
But still, like, isn't that like bad manners a little bit?
Cause she's like her and this other guy named Cajun are the only people that are like decently famous within All I Know Music, which is a part of Mystic Entertainment, which is a part of SM Entertainment Group.
Dang.
So I can understand why they're doing it. Would I be happy if I was Giant Pink? Probably not.
I don't know. That was just something I read up on this morning. But let's move on to SF9's new song, Enough. Yo, I'm kind of on the
Good.
SF9 hype train right now.
Yes.
Like, Warren, okay, Warren, just get your hot take out of the way.
What?
I sorry, I just don't like the song.
What? This is such a
sorry.
good song.
It's just so mediocre.
What?
I like the chorus.
I'm
I
sorry.
love the chorus.
Interesting.
Also, I think this song is doing well because their member Chenny was on Sky Castle, which is
Sunny. Yeah.
now the most successful Korean drama on cable TV ever. And
Wow.
he's also making, like, he's on every variety show right now. So they're definitely capitalizing on his popularity, which I think is a great thing to do. And FNC is having a great week in general. Like, I'll go more into that on the things I'm currently listening to. But for me, I thought this was a great song for them. I
Yeah.
think it's a step in the right direction. I thought especially the chorus was really good of this song.
Yes, I agree.
Now, I think I thought the chorus was better. My weakest point for me was some of the rapping I thought was a little weird. And,
Oh my
and
god, that's the part I hated.
And I think specifically what threw me off was some of the rappers' hair choices were a little out there for me. Because I'm not a fan of the Korean male mullet thing, and they were rocking it pretty hard.
Oh,
I'm a big fan of the
yeah.
mullet thing right now. Like I've been considering it doing myself, low key.
Please don't, Warren. Please
No.
don't.
I knew you guys would say that. I'm not gonna do it, but I've considered it.
Thank you.
I'll just say that.
No.
I think that's fine. The part that I was least, everything else, I was like, it's not. I don't enjoy it, but at the same time, it's not like I don't dislike it. You know, like it's aight. But the part I thought was this is not aight. This is a little worse than aight. Was when they were well, some of them were using autotune on their voices.
That is true.
I don't get me wrong. I fucking love autotune. I love Orunerim. I love Sake, but I think it just doesn't fit their character and their tone of voice because it felt because their rapping voice seemed a little too like thin, if you know what I mean. And
So,
the auto-tune
Warren did not really like
do
any
well.
of the songs this week, is what I'm getting. Right, Anita?
Yeah.
I liked Butterfly.
Eh,
Eh.
okay.
Okay, Warren. All right, but we're going to move on to our show winners now. So, CLC won their second award for No on the show.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm very
wow.
proud of them. I'm proud of CLC.
Good
Now,
job.
the two, I'm going to get the other, there was two kind of major winners. The first one was Taemin won 2 awards for Want. He won Show Champion and Music Bank. So shout out to Taemin because it's a lot harder to win as a solo than it is as a group in Korea. So whenever a solo people win, you got to respect that. But the biggest news this week was ITZY won 3 shows.
Wow.
Holy shit.
They got their first win on M Countdown on February 21st, last Thursday. It's a record, y'all. It's a record. They won only 9 days after their debut. Like, Jesus Christ.
Dang.
The previous record was held by my favorite IZ*ONE at 10 days. They got it in 9. So I'm respect to ITZY.
Shit.
They also won Show Music Core, which is NBC's major show, and they won Inkigayo. So they've already won on
shit.
major shows, where IZ*ONE only won on the smaller ones.
That's
Wow.
kind of crazy.
Isn't it
It's kinda
crazy?
scary.
Like them winning M Countdown, I thought, okay, that's expected. But them winning Show Music Core and Inkigayo is really impressive.
That's crazy. How is it gets faster every time, right?
Yeah, but 9
Like,
days.
My question is, how shorter can it get?
If they start letting people win on the first day, then it could
Same
happen.
week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could happen
my
if they start
God.
letting that happen.
Does ITZY have a fan group name yet?
No,
Not
but
that
if
I
you
know
watch all the
of.
fan cams, the fan chants are hella loud.
Yeah.
Dang. ITZY fans, congrats. Oh my god. That was fast.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I am.
9 days.
That's a good transition to what we're currently listening, because I am still listening to ITZY's Dala Dala, yo.
Yes.
Hwang Ye-ji
So good.
might be my number 3 favorite person in K-pop right now.
Oh, what's the fuck
Wow.
already?
Bro, Hwang Ye-ji
So fast.
is so cool, yo. No one rocks a ponytail like that girl.
How do you feel about her Princess Leia haircut?
I don't like that. I don't like the Princess Leia one.
What?
But the high ponytail,
cute.
either one ponytail or two, I'm completely down for it.
What do you think about her double ponytails?
Bro,
from her,
that's what I'm saying. The double ponytails are great.
Oh, okay. Oh, damn. Okay.
Like, as y'all know, my favorites in IZ*ONE are Hitomi and Chaewon, right? My
Sampa.
my third favorite person in K-pop is generally Sana from Twice. And number 4 is normally Irene from Red Velvet. But Hwang Ye-ji might be in the mix somewhere in that.
Oh, shit. Are we gonna have to make a new spreadsheet sometime soon?
I might have to evaluate while I'm bored at work. I'm going to evaluate my biases and come back to y'all with some news. But another song I'm listening to, surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, consider how well it's doing, is N.Flying's Rooftop.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this song soared up to number 1 on Bugs, Melon, Ole, Genie, and is number 2 on the Composite I chart right now.
What the fuck?
The crazy thing is this song was released back on January 2nd of this year.
Yeah.
So it just skyrocketed up the charts in the last week. And it's sitting at number 1 or 2 on most charts after Hwasa's Twit.
Wait, why did it go up all?
They're calling it a modern day miracle in terms of like the music scene. That's what I saw in a couple articles quoting it as. It's honestly a great song, and it has the most fitting name because this is one of those rock songs. Not a rock song, but like, you know what, N.Flying, they're kind of rock pop type of deal.
Band, yeah.
Rock band, pop beat thing. And it's a perfect song that you would expect them to play on a rooftop. It's called Rooftop, and they play it on the rooftop. So it all fits together. And it's honestly a really good song.
Did they cover this?
We
back in
did not,
January?
which is, I think, a disservice to them. So I'm going to cover it now and say it's a great song. Go listen to it. But the last song I'm listening to is one that does not have a music video. It's Ravi from VIX featuring Chungha live. The song is called Live. Surprising collaboration, Ravi and Chungha. Really good song.
What kind of song is it?
It's like, okay, so it's a soft rap, it's not like a hardcore song. It's more like a sentimental rap song. Has a good message about how life is a struggle, but you got to endure, that kind of message.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. I highly suggest all of you go try it out. Even though there's no music video, it's called Live, and it's by Ravi featuring Chungha. But Warren, hit us with what you're listening to.
Alright, so this week was one of those weeks where I have like 4 songs on repeat for the whole week. So it progressively changed. Like the first couple of days of last week, I was still listening to Over the Sky and the instrumental because that was there too on Spotify.
Yes, I just listened to both of them back to back over and over
I know, right? And somehow it just, you just can't get sick of it because it's just
the
there.
most anime K-pop song I think in a long time.
Fucking love the pianos in the beginning where it's like bum ba bum 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 bum, and I'm just like, oh, here we go, sky scene.
Yo, but I want you to talk about the next song.
Next song.
Get to it.
This is a song called IMJMWDP, short for Indigo Music Just Good Music with a plug, or IMJM with a plug as they like to call it. It's kind of long. It's by Youngbi, Yunhui, Oceangum, Jackie Y, Black Nut, Noel, Justice, Kid Millie, Geary Boy, and Swings. And this covers.
You missed someone. Han
I missed Han Yohan. Yeah, actually, yeah. This covers most of the rappers in the Swings labels, which are Just Music, Indigo Music, and With a Plug records. We're missing like a C-Jam. That's all I can think of right now.
Vasco.
There was one more. Oh no, Bill Stacks left.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. One other guy in Beat a Plug Music, I forget his name, but it's got a very interesting beat. It's very fire.
This is one of okay, I'm not a big into rap, right?
Right.
This is an amazing song. Like I know all of these people are individually famous, but this is like forming the Exodia coming out party song. Like
this is Avengers right here.
This is literally an Avengers song. It's ridiculously good. and it really highlights everyone's rap styles. Like,
Here's the thing, right? I love collab songs, but a lot of the collab songs that have been dropping recently are kind of meh. Like the 119 remix that dropped like after End of Show Me the Money, I was like, this is all right. This I'm like, everybody's verse is good. It's like,
yeah.
why?
Even if you don't like one person, it's over within like 30 seconds anyway, right? like out of these like 10 rappers, you're bound to like at least 7 or 8 of them because just the level that they come with on this song is incredibly high. And I'm not the biggest fan of some of these artists, but I think they all hit it out of the park on this song. Especially Han Yohan's rap part, you gotta go listen to this. This is the weirdest verse I've ever heard in my life, but it is so fire.
It's got a special featuring Devo part.
Devo?
It's if you remember Show Me the Money, there was like
Oh my
a part where he's
God.
like, yep, that's in there.
It's in there.
It's the best.
Yeah, so
part.
this song is called, if you want to find it on YouTube, you want to type in IMJMWDP, the letters.
What a name.
What a name. But it's everyone in the Swings family. That's what I'm gonna call it, the Swings family.
It's like a giant flex song. They're just flexing how strong their crew is right now, essentially.
One of the newest people to join, right? This kind of group family is Yoon. She's in WDP, We the Plug Music. Oh my gosh, she's good.
She's really good, but she mentions the word teriyaki way too much in all of her verses.
Her parents own a teriyaki restaurant in
Aw.
America.
See, that makes
That's
sense
why,
because it's
apparently.
obvious from her rapping that she's fluent in English. Like, it's very obvious. So that makes more sense to me. I was wondering, why does this girl like teriyaki so much? Because every single verse, I think she mentions it at least 1 to 2 times. But it all
That
makes
and like
sense.
sauce dripping. Like she's like teriyaki sauce dripping. I'm like, all right, girl.
But hit us
Your
with
blue
them
hair.
other rap stuff you listening to, Warren, because I know people out there like that.
So I got 2 more. The other one is a song called "I Loved My Friend's Friend" by Yomta. And the song, the title sounds very provocative. I know it sounds very aggro, but it's a little more tame than what you would expect. It's like I kind of had a crush on this friend's girlfriend, but like I didn't do jack shit about it. I just liked her on Instagram. It's just a 2-minute song. It's really short, but it's really nice vibes. If you don't know who Yomta is, which I'm betting none of you guys know who this guy is, it's like an adoshi version of PH1.
Bro, some of these
Solid.
people might not even know who PH1 is.
Oh fuck! It's like a Korean Drake that's an adoshi.
Good. That's a better way to put it.
Like nearly 40 years. He probably actually over 40 years old. This guy, but he sounds great. He's a sing rapper. The other album, the other thing I wanted to talk about was, it's not an EP actually. It's a full length album called "Can I Love" with a question mark by Cosmic Boy. And if you're one of those people who like the kind of chill vibes like you get from Korean R&B, this is more of an R&B album. And Cosmic Boy, the producer, and he has a bunch of featuring artists like OLNL, Gary Boy Kugi are the famous ones, and then there's like lesser famous ones like Thama and Chelby. It's like a really chill vibe R&B kind of thing that you want to listen to at like 2 a.m. in the morning, and like that kind of shit. Go check it out. Good shit. Good stuff. I've had it on repeat the whole day.
Anita, what are you listening to?
I went back to look at the full album that Monsta X released with Alligator. And I had listened to the medley before the album was released, and the one song that caught my attention, this collaboration they did with Steve Aoki.
Steve
called
Aoki.
Play-
Shout
Yes.
out to Steve Aoki. Fun facts here.
yes.
His dad founded Benihana.
What?
Yes, that's a fun fact for y'all. But continue.
Wow.
Teriyaki some more.
Yeah, well, he produced this song called Play It Cool. Something that's I noticed in the album description was a Korean version, so I'm guessing they're gonna release an English version sometime soon. We're looking forward to that. But yeah, this is the B-side to Alligator, so they've performed this on music shows too. And I don't know, I think it has a really fresh, modern sound. the way I would describe it is like you would hear this song like on a runway, on a fashion show. Like that's the kind of
Ooh.
song that it is. Yeah. So definitely check that out. The next one is from Timon's album recently released. It's called Shadow. So this song it sounds really, really dark, but it has these violins in it, and it sounds really pretty. I think the bridge in the song is my favorite part. But yeah, it sounds dark, but it's like I don't think it's scary. It's just nice dark song. And then the next one, I'm still listening to Sesonyeon. I went back to look at some of their other songs. One of my favorite ones is The Wave. What I like about this song is that it relies heavily on the drums. Like the drums in this song are great,
Mm.
and it's like very, very minimal singing, so it's mostly instrumental. The guitar solo at the end is great. So definitely check it out if you're more into like I would say more like rock indie stuff. And then the last one is from Loona's repackaged album, the album from Butterfly, and it's called Where. A new
Anita,
song,
you cut out. What is it called?
Where You At?
Cool.
Shit. Where you at, girl?
Yes, Where You At? I think this is a new song. I believe so, and it's a ballad, but I don't know. I feel like
Oh,
it's slow, but it didn't feel that slow to me. I feel like it sounds really nice. It's more of an emotional ballad type, but I don't know. It's really nice. I listened to the whole repackaged album from Loona, and I don't know. I think it's really really good. All of the songs are great. I would definitely check it out, not just Butterfly.
I did listen to the whole album a couple times,
Mm.
and I think that was the one song I was continuously skipping over.
Where you
Oh,
at?
snap.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
gosh.
This is the last song on the album, right?
No.
No, before we
Well,
go into the other songs from the previous album.
actually, I
'Cause
don't know.
after like the seventh, after like after like 6 or 7 tracks, it goes back into the tracks from the last album, but in reverse order.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, okay, it's the last track of the 6. I'm sorry, that's the one. I
Lauren
keep
with the
skipping over.
constant hot
Dang.
takes.
You
Ridiculous.
just
this
hate
kid.
ballads.
You know what? I while you were talking, I muted myself and went to listen to that Monster X Steve Aoki shit. Man, oh,
You like it?
I like the vibes. That
Isn't it
fresh,
good?
the runway vibes. I only heard like 5 seconds
Yes.
of it. I was like, I'm liking this already.
Let's stop right here while Warren is having a good moment where he's not having a hot take. And let's move quickly onto our news/events from the last week. So we're gonna go through these kind of fast because there was nothing like there's no like main topic this week in terms of the news. Some weeks we get something that's like this is it, right? This week is more like these are the stuff that happened. So I'm gonna call this section BTS World Domination.
Oh shit!
Mm-hmm.
So first thing, BTS announces Love Yourself, Speak Yourself World Tour. So they're currently on the Love Yourself tour, right?
Yes.
Right.
But they're adding more dates and they're calling it another tour. So they're calling it now Love Yourself, Speak Yourself. This is like part 2 of the tour, right?
Wow.
So they'll be going to LA, Chicago, New Jersey, Sao Paulo, London, and Paris. Literally a world tour. And every single venue they're going at is humongous. So for instance, last time they were in New York, they did the Citi Field tour, which was a big deal, right? It held like 50,000 people. Now they're going to MetLife Stadium. That's a football stadium, American football stadium, that holds
That's huge.
80,000 people plus.
Oh my god!
It's the largest stadium in like New York, New Jersey area. And that they're going to probably sell it out.
Oh.
Wow.
So, as I predicted last year, they are going on a World Stadium tour. I called this, yo.
This is where they had the Super Bowl a couple years ago, right?
Yes, they hold Super Bowls
Yes.
there. They hold only the most like the biggest stuff in United States at that kind of concert
Oh my god!
hall. But
What the fuck?
next one, Hyundai, the car brand, is struggling to keep up with the high demand of the Palisade, the new SUV endorsed by BTS.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they've gotten 60,000 orders for this new car, more than double than they had predicted, so they're struggling to fill the need. Additionally,
That's amazing.
it's the car that BTS showed up to the Grammys in. So, they going hard with it.
Dang.
So also, more BTS news. So they have the #1 Twitter account with the most interactions in the world. Not that they have
Oh my God.
407 million interactions on Twitter.
Wow.
In perspective, the next two people are Donald Trump with 104 million and Ariana Grande with 101. They have about 4 times as many as the next person on Twitter.
Wait, no. Okay, so Donald Trump is number 2 and Ariana Grande is number 3, and
Yeah.
they're both at about 100 million,
Yeah.
and BTS is at 400 million.
Yep. So they have 4 times the amount of interactions.
Dang.
Isn't that bonkers?
Let's just look at the numbers.
I
Just
know.
Look at 400 million.
And I might not be a fan of Donald Trump, but if we're going to be objective here, the president of a country is probably more important than a K-pop group, right? But BTS still has 4 times the amount of interactions. Ridiculous.
Okay. Oh my God.
Yeah, I can't even fathom that. So,
There's 300 million people in America,
yes.
and we have 400 million interactions with BTS on Twitter.
Yes. Isn't that bananas?
Worldwide.
So last one, another worldwide news, how they're dominating. So BTS fans are finding Armypedia puzzle pieces all around the world. So Big Hit's doing this cool thing where they have this puzzle game going around with Army, where they've been posting QR codes across the globe. So people have found them in
Wow.
Seoul, Hong Kong, New York, Paris, Los Angeles, London, and other major cities. It's like Pokemon Go,
That's
but for
cool.
BTS.
Yeah.
Oh damn. Okay. I've seen a bunch of Japanese groups do that with within Japan, right?
Yeah, but this is worldwide, and there's a total.
fucking worldwide.
There's over 2,000 QR in the unique QR codes, and they're basically telling
Wow.
Army to go find all of them. Really
We have
cool
one in
stuff.
Ann Arbor?
I doubt they have one in Ann Arbor.
Alright,
Maybe in
that's true.
Detroit. Maybe in Detroit. But just showing how BTS is dominating the world. But let's
This is
move.
crazy.
Let's move on to other big hit news now. I'm gonna reorder our stuff real quick because it only makes sense. So the TXT hype is building. They're debuting next week, y'all. It's already here.
Wait, it's next week?
It's
Yes.
next week.
Oh my God.
So pre-orders for their debut album already surpassed 100,000 copies.
The hype.
For perspective, Eyes One holds the record for the highest female debuting album, and it's only at 115,000, and they already have 100,000 pre-orders.
My God.
Well, I'm sorry about that, Doug. I don't think
I know, it's understandable. That was 3 days
Any
ago.
chance?
It might be 150,000 by now because it took them only 3 days to reach that number previously.
Wait, 3 days.
3 days to get
Yeah.
104,000 pre-orders.
Oh my God.
Big Hit is just killing it. So okay, let me look this up right here. So they're scheduled to release their debut single and hold the debut showcase on March 4th. Oh no, they're releasing the song on the 4th, and they will be having their showcase later on the 5th. That's how it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, man, I don't think I've ever seen more hype behind a debuting group ever. I thought ITZY had hype. It doesn't even compare to what TXT has.
What the
Yes.
fuck? 100,000 though.
Yeah, 100,000 copies.
100,000. I'm just having trouble understanding that number.
Warren's
100,000.
mind is blown by the success that Big Hit is having, it seems. I don't think he's functioning properly.
No, 100,000.
Yes.
That's 5 zeros behind the 1.
Yes, for a debuting group.
Yeah. Yes. Uh-huh.
But while Warren's
Oh my
malfunctioning, let's move on to some other news. So,
crazy.
Cube Unit is what we're gonna call this. So, Cube Entertainment a while ago teased an upcoming unit in a similar vein as Troublemaker and Triple H. So, a cross group type of deal that's gonna happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first member was announced. It's Lai Kwai Lin from 101, right?
Okay.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Which kind of makes sense because he doesn't have much going on
Yeah.
right now. So they got to do something with him. The more interesting part is his partner, which was announced to be Pentagon's Woo-suk.
Huh.
So that's going to be the new unit in Cube.
Huh.
The
Bit of a-
duo?
People honestly thought it was going to be Lai Kwai Lin and Soyeon from Judge Idol. That's what most people thought it was going to end up.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm very interested to see what comes out of that because honestly, out of all the companies that do these type of units, Cube does it the best on paper.
That's true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure they're going to do something great because, you know, Lai Kwai-lin has all this hype behind him.
Yeah.
And he was one of the most popular members of 101. So we'll have to see what happens with this. But I'm excited.
I'm just happy that this kind of prevents him from running away to China immediately. Right?
Yeah, essentially.
I'm kind of happy that's happening. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you're gonna do that later on, that's fine. Just like build your base a little bit more here, then go to China, and that would help you too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like honestly, when you hit the Chinese market, if you want to make tons of money, you got to come in with a lot of hype, right? And although he's big right now, he can be bigger.
he can be way bigger. Like, there's too much potential.
Sort
here,
of like
just-
how I'm predicting once, twice kind of fizzles out a little. Chui's gonna make her move into the Chinese market, and she's gonna be world star, world star.
Is it gonna go to China? There's too much politics behind that.
I still think it'll happen.
Okay, we'll see what happens.
Okay, so a little bit of unfortunate, like, news.
Yeah.
So I'm calling this "Mama Speaks Up."
Mama.
So
Who's Mama?
Itzy's Chaeryong's mother speaks up against netizens
Aiko.
criticizing her daughter's visuals.
아이고.
In a similar vein to the kind of criticism that Chaeyeon and IZ*ONE received,
Yeah.
Chaeryong has been the target of mean comments about her visuals.
Hey.
The criticism got so intense that her whole mother, she released a post basically saying, like, please stop. This is my child. She's just debuting. She's only 19. What has she done wrong? If she did something wrong, I would get why you're criticizing her, but you're literally criticizing her just on her looks. That's like a summary of what she said. Super unfortunate. And
This is really sad.
it's really just a symptom of the fact that a lot of times that people on the internet, because they're anonymous, right? Generally, when you're posting stuff on the internet, you're faceless. There's no accountability, where people think that they can say whatever they want. And sometimes what you think and what you say should not be the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that I hope that their mother, I don't think she should read all these comments, because a lot of the times the voice of the few, people who have these extreme opinions, get pushed to the
Yeah.
front when that's not what the majority of people are thinking.
It's not worth concerning yourself with these kind of
Yeah.
people.
But it's just a very unfortunate situation, because it is true. She's a 19-year-old girl. She just debuted.
Yeah.
Every person has a parents, and when you say something mean and the parents can see it, it affects everyone, right, in their family. So I just want to say, as humans, when we're interacting with people on the internet, we should think as if they're in front of us. Because would you really say that to their face? That's
Don't
just
be
my
that
2
guy.
cents.
Don't be that guy. We all know who you are. Don't be that guy. Don't be that one person, you know? Like,
Yeah.
be
Because
the good man.
sometimes, even though 99% of people are saying, like, oh, yeah, it's fine. She's cute. It's cool. That 1% sometimes has a bigger effect than the other 99.
That one negative
Yeah.
comment.
But let's move on to more hype news for Douglas. I got Somi news, yo. First thing, she teased the collaboration with Black label mate Zion T.
Eh?
She's been posting pictures on her Instagram of her at a table with a bunch of producers, and Zion T is also there. So who
Interesting.
knows? Because I don't see Somi as the type of girl to normally collaborate with Zion, like an artist like Zion T. But we'll have to see what happens.
I mean, that makes sense, right? Who's the biggest person in the Black label right now?
Yeah.
Easily Zion T.
So other things. Initially, we all thought that her debut was going to happen in quarter 2. Some even thought as late as September, right? It seems that most people think that they've moved it up. So the current rumors are stating that the debut will happen sometime in May, which is a lot sooner than we had thought.
Ooh.
Wait, I'm seeing official
Yep,
announcement.
that was my next thing. So that's what people thought,
shit.
right?
Okay.
So those were the rumors. And then the label itself came out and said, yeah, it's going to happen. And guess what? It's going to happen on May 1st.
Dang.
Eat.
It's pretty soon.
Yo, I'm so hyped for this because I'm a huge Somi fan.
Apparently, Teddy is the executive producer, and
Yep.
they have just finished all the recording process, and music video is the only thing left. That's crazy.
And for those of you
Wow.
at home, Teddy is pretty much the genius at YG who does pretty much all of Blackpink songs. And for him to be working with Somi, it has the Teddy seal of approval, essentially, which is it's a great thing to have. What do you guys think is going to happen? I think it's going to be huge. I think it's going to be good too.
I think.
Oh, Anita, you just cut out.
Oh, I just agree. It's
You
going to
agree?
be big.
I know Warren's more skeptical, of course.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Teddy. I'm not gonna lie. I personally think he's slightly overrated. Not a lot.
You might not
just a
think
little
he's
bit.
I think it's fair to say he's overrated or not, but you have to admit super successful.
Oh, yeah, super successful, obviously. But the stuff he's done alone without other people helping him was kind of like meh for me.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
So quick takes. There's a lot of quick takes here, but they have all common theme about upcoming comebacks. So, and all of them are in March, which is the other thing.
Oh my God.
So here's a list of
March
people
Madness.
who said that they're coming back in March. Sunmi, March 4th. Girls' Generation Taeyeon coming back in March. Gongwon Sonyo, March 13th. Daya, March 28th. Park Ji-hoon's making his solo debut in March. Mamamoo's coming back in March. Stray Kids are coming back in March.
Okay.
March Madness.
First of all, Daya's coming back. Wow, crazy, right?
Yes.
I thought it would take a little longer for them because the last
Mhm.
was like a struggle to put out. But dang, that's good for them.
My things that I'm most interested in is Sunmi, Taeyeon, those super high level female solo artists. That should be cool. Daya, this
wait,
is probably their make or break song, right? Park Ji-hoon solo, he is
Yeah.
probably one or like
Ji-hoon.
top 3 most popular in 101. If his solo isn't
Yeah.
huge, it's a bad sign.
Hmm.
We're gonna have to see with that one. That one's very interesting to me. I also think this is Stray Kids' year to blow up if they're gonna blow up. This is the year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those are my takes. And I'm always happy for a Mamamoo they comeback and Gongwon Sonyo. We'll have to see because Puzzle Moon was big for me. So I want to see if the next one's gonna also be big. Warren, are you hyped for any of these?
Puzzle Night was like, was it called Puzzle Night?
Puzzle Moon.
Puzzle Moon.
Moon.
Fuck. That was like personally like one of the most underrated songs of 2018.
I agree.
So I'm kind of, I don't know if I'm hype for them because I like the song. I don't like the group that much. I'm like on an okay level with the group. I'm like, I like them. I don't dislike them. That kind of level. The song itself, I don't know what they're gonna do. I had high hopes for Loona. Then Butterfly came out, which Butterfly is great, but it's not just what I wanted. You know.
Anita,
I'm just worried.
I know you're looking at that Park Ji-hoon
Yes, I
debut.
am.
That's your big thing, right? Out of next month, I would assume.
Yes.
That's all we gotta say because that's what
Yes.
Anita's waiting for. But upcoming releases for the next week. All right, so we got some huge ones next week, y'all. February 26th, tomorrow, Tuesday. Yeoja Idol's coming back. Woo! Hype for that. February 28th, Thursday. Hasonghoon's solo debut. Another 101 guy.
Another solo.
We're gonna have to see how they all do. That's like contentious. Finally, next Monday, March 4th, the day we're gonna have the next podcast, TXT's debut. So that's gonna be our main topic, 100%.
Dang.
TXT.
I think next week's gonna be a big week. But that's pretty much all we have for this week. But we're gonna move on to that question we mentioned at the top from Jonathan. Now
What's up, Jonathan?
This is potentially a bit of a sensitive topic. I know it's pretty contentious. It involves a lot. You'll know what I mean once I read the question. So the question was, how do you see appropriation in K-pop? Have you ever thought of it before? Wow, a lot to unpack here, y'all.
Loaded question.
So if this ain't your cup of tea, feel free to leave and come back next week. But if you want, we're gonna get into this, right? We're gonna say some opinions. Please stick around. It should be interesting. So for me, the short answer: cultural appropriation is definitely present in the industry of K-pop, but this is a subject that is very messy with a ton of gray area.
A ton of gray area.
So for some of you at home who don't know what cultural appropriation is, here is a definition. So cultural appropriation is an act of adopting elements of an outside, often minority culture, including knowledge, practices, symbols, without understanding or respecting the original culture and context. A lot of stuff here.
All right.
So for me, it's like, okay, so the first thing I think we got to make clear, appreciating a different culture. Cultural appreciation is not the same as cultural appropriation. That's a huge
Yes.
distinction we got to
Yes.
make.
Yes.
So adopting traditional music stylings of another ethnic group is not inherently bad, for sure. But there are certain instances that perpetuate damaging stereotypes or past instances of racism, for sure. And I think at its core, there has to be an underlying level of respect and an awareness of one's own privilege and standing in life that they've been given.
Yeah.
And I think specifically idols are automatically in a position of power, so they have to be extra cautious with that power. So with great power comes great responsibility. So now you might be wondering, like, what do we mean by like cultural appropriation incidents and stuff? So I broke it up into 3 categories. The first one I'm gonna call actively bad, right? Actively bad. This is just bad.
Yeah.
So this is so there's a rapper in Korea. Her name is Trudy. She often uses darker makeup and tries to present herself to appear more black in a similar way to Yoon Mire, who is a rapper in Korea who is half black and half Korean. That's just problematic. Let's be straight up here.
Yeah.
That's just like trying to copy someone else's ethnicity for your own benefit. That's just not good. Other incidents. So this has come out. This one is a pretty famous incident. So it's Wendy and other idols speaking like black women or imitating them. That's just bad. You shouldn't do that, right? That's not fun. What if someone else tried to imitate your ethnic speech patterns, right? You wouldn't be happy about that. She's even apologized for it in the past.
Even generalizing that all black women speak in a certain way, like that's
not good at all.
No.
Lastly, actively bad. This isn't really idols per se, but there has been incidents. I don't know if it's idols or comedians in Korea, but they've been the practice of blackface where you put like dark paint on your face and pretend you're a black person. Just bad. Don't do it. What the hell are you doing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so those are actively bad. I think that's fairly obvious. So the next section I'm gonna call culturally insensitive, right? So this is a bit of a gray area, right? Where it's like it could definitely be bad, but we can see why sometimes people get a free pass on it. So I think a great culture study is Big Bang's Bang 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 music video, right? So in the music video, Top wears a hat in the style of a member of the Queen's Guard in London. You know those guys with the big black hats in London, right?
And the red uniforms. Yeah.
So that's copying that culture. I personally don't think that's a huge deal because I don't see anyone up in arms about that. How do y'all feel about that?
Yeah, I
think it's
didn't
alright.
find it offensive per se, but
The next one, Seungri wears a Native American headdress. That can be pretty bad.
yeah, that
Because there's
Yeah.
cultural
Yeah.
significance behind that, right? And
Yes.
if you don't understand the significance, you're just wearing it to look cool. And sometimes that's not a cool thing to do, right? You shouldn't just wear other people's cultural items to look cool. Personally,
That's fashion.
if there was like someone in the US just wearing a hanbok in a music video to try to get some views, I would be personally a little offended by that. Same kind of deal. Okay, the last one. So this is the one that's probably the worst in this music video. So G-Dragon has, in the music video, has a black woman. Her name's Paris Goebel. She's a famous choreographer with the chain around her neck crawling on the ground in a sexual way. Oof, not a great look, right?
It's
Because
just who directed this? Who thought this was a good idea?
I know she agreed to do it, but it could bring up images of slavery and the stereotype of hypersexualization in black women. Like, not a good look overall, personally. You could have done a lot of other things in this music video there.
Yeah. Why that one in specific? I don't really understand. I don't really know why, but
It's not good though, right? Like,
No,
objectively
no.
not good. But now let's move on to some other potentially culturally insensitive things. So some people will say K-rap culture is a little insensitive. Additionally, K-pop styling, which includes hair choices, outfit choices. Warren, I know you got opinions on this.
I mean, here's the thing, right? The Korean hip hop began in like the mid 90s
Yeah.
because they thought that hip hop was big in America and they were like, "Hey, I want to do that too in Korea." The fact is, back when that originally began, if you didn't really, a lot of people didn't really understand what it meant to the people who are actually a part of that culture. And right now it's changed a little bit. Here's what I would say. We're not using the culture. I think what I think is a more correct representation of what's happening right now with Korean rap and Korean hip hop community is that um we are being influenced by the hip hop community in America and making it our own, because the sounds and the visual aspect that comes out of these different countries is, I wouldn't say like completely different, but they are very different at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I would actually say that that's like a positive influence, a cultural exchange. Korean rap has chord progressions that would never appear in American rap. But at the same time, I understand why some people are offended and why some people think of it as cultural appropriation.
For me,
I yeah.
Anita, you can go first. I
Yeah,
still
I
need to
was
go on
just
this.
gonna say, like, I definitely agree. Like, there are some aspects where it's definitely just an influence, but I mean, I would also argue that there have been cases like Trudy, like we mentioned, where it's like
That yeah,
very, very obviously like trying to create this image.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know exactly the reason behind it. I guess it's different depending on the individual, but it seems more like a form of being fashionable or like
Yeah,
trying to have the persona that you think fits this music style,
here's the
and it
thing.
can be really problematic.
Like up until like the early 2000s, it was very obvious that some people were being like, they were like being like, oh, like I'm gangsta, oh, I'm black,
Mhm.
even though I'm
Yeah.
like, you guys are fucking yellow, you guys can't be that shit. That's not really there anymore. The problem
Mhm.
when okay, here's the thing: when Sick K copies Travis Scott, that's a different level. But the level where a person is, oh, black people are cool, I want to be a black person, that's a different level, and
that's fair.
that's not a common pattern within Korean hip hop anymore, as I like to believe, at least.
Personally, for me, it's like, all right, so if we want to go back to what hip hop culture is in the United States, it's honestly a lot of the narrative is coming out of poverty and stuff, right? I've personally struggle sometimes with Korean rap because a lot of the times the people who become famous rappers did not struggle that much in their lives to get to
No.
that point, which is one of the main narratives in American hip hop culture. But I do think it's fine for Korean rap as long as they try to stay in their lane. I wouldn't say stay in their lane, but I want to say rap about their life, their narrative, not try to talk about someone else's narrative in their life, if that makes any sense, right? Like staying true to who they are as people, not trying to be someone else. Then I think
Yeah.
it's okay.
Mhm.
It goes back to what hip hop is about, right?
Yeah,
Keep it real, you know.
exactly.
Don't try to act like you're from the hood when you ain't. Like,
Yeah.
I think as long as they try to do that, I'm personally okay with it.
but you know who was actually very poor and is made it to the top?
Who?
Uneducated kid.
My God.
But in terms of K-pop styling, there are some times where I think it's problematic. I think sometimes the use of excessive dreadlocks, and I would say not as much now, but some fashion choices back in the day were a little cringy to me. But I would,
Dreads were a huge trend back in like early 2000s.
yeah,
I
and there was
remember
people on
correctly,
both
yeah.
sides of the fence on that. Some saying it's offensive because they don't understand the cultural significance and the history behind dreadlocks. And other people were like, it's just hair. But at the same time, certain hairstyles are very culturally significant to certain groups. So you got to keep all that in mind. It's still, I would say, probably the cloudiest area is the styling, I would say, overall.
I mean, the fact is,
Mhm.
Koreans didn't do dreads up until like what,
See,
the 90s at the very least.
that's true.
That's what you got to think about.
I mean, there was hair braiding in a similar to a Chinese way, but it definitely wasn't dreads or cornrows. Let's be real here.
No.
No. Completely two different things.
Exactly. But lastly, I want to talk about a good exchange. I think a great example of this has been Super Junior's collabs over the last year with Otervez with Drake and Lo Siento with Leslie Grace. This is a great cultural exchange because both sides are gaining. They're both using aspects of each other's culture, and everyone's down for it. Why not, instead of trying to like act like who you aren't, why don't you get some of the people who do that style to come join you so you can have like a good exchange and everyone could be cool with what you're doing, right? It's a perfect opportunity to collab with other artists, which is the whole cultural exchange part we've been talking about. I want to give a shout out to Super Junior because I think that's the best way to do it.
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
It would be weird if Super Junior tried to sing their choruses in Spanish. Let's be straight up here. But if you get a Spanish artist and you collab on the song and it has a Spanish flair but it has a little bit of a K-pop flair, that's what should happen, and that's a healthy way to exchange the cultures.
I think it kind of comes down to this, right? Like we're every day, especially fans of K-pop, right? We're influenced by other cultures all the time.
Of course.
We need to understand what's not offensive and what is offensive. And when they find it offensive, we just gotta be like, you know what? I fucked up. My bad.
Yes.
I won't do it again. That's what it kind of boils down to.
Yeah, and when you make that mistake, the next time, how about you be like, all right, let me research what I want to do here and make sure it's cool. That's another huge thing, right?
Educate yourself, please.
But there's definitely underlying issues. Like, as always, Korean society homogeneity, always one of them. Korean view of other races, cultures, and skin tones. Clearly, that's at play here.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the issue of appropriating Black culture as a whole and how it's sort of been allowed to become okay, even though it probably shouldn't, right?
It's not, yeah.
And then, of course, the whole cultural appreciation versus cultural appropriation gray area. When is it fine? When is it not? Right? It's very gray there. I want to make an argument in the other direction too, right? So, although a lot of people sometimes rag on K-pop for appropriating Black culture specifically, there's also instances of the opposite, right? So, Foxy Brown's album China Doll, Nicki Minaj's song Chun-Li, Wu-Tang Clan, the name of that, and it's of course Chinese and Asian characters, tattoos and stuff like that, right? So it's not just a one-way street here. I think it's a broader issue that we should address as a whole. But I don't know. That's just some food for thought, right?
It's kind of one thing I wanted to point out is everyone makes mistakes. And if you see someone doing these kind of actions, it's not okay to start burning them down.
Yeah, because there's a difference between planning to do something bad and just like and the intent of what they were trying to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, they didn't intend to offend anyone. It's bad if you're trying to offend people or you kind of know it's bad but you still do it. But if you have good intentions, it's okay to mess up, I think. As long as you
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree that in the K-pop industry is that a lot of these instances of like appropriation or offending other cultures has come from like the lack of knowledge in general.
definitely
And like mistakes where like the artists themselves didn't even know what they were wearing or like
it's like
what
the
it really
stylist told me to wear
meant.
this or the stylist told me to do my hair like this.
I definitely feel like I've seen this happen, and I think it's good that fans are saying like, "Hey, this is what it means. Like, you probably shouldn't be doing this," and artists just being able to recognize this, like, "Yeah, I didn't know this. Thank you for letting me know, and I won't do it again."
That just really like chimes back to like the whole intent thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, people can make honest mistakes. Like, I didn't know I shouldn't have had my hair in cornrows because I didn't know the culture. But now that you told me, I'll definitely not do it again, right? It's a learning experience. And how can we ever have like good levels of cultural appreciation and sharing without making some mistakes, right?
Yeah.
If we're too afraid to even like attempt to try to exchange cultures, like, we're not going to have any exchange at all.
I mean, you gotta realize Korean people who grew up in Korea don't really grow up watching, like, seeing other races around you or like having an exposure to other cultures around you. So you gotta keep that in mind too. Like,
and when they do see other cultures, it's just the good parts generally. Like,
or something they see on media. Yeah,
they don't see the history behind it. They just see like these rappers make a lot of money. They look cool because they do X, Y, and Z. If I do X, Y, and Z, I'll also look cool. They don't understand what goes behind a lot of the things that they do. But I think we answered this topic pretty well, right? I think we did.
I think you're get it. Yeah.
So if y'all have any other questions, maybe not as like tough as this one, please like, subscribe, download us, please, and leave us those questions at SojuTalkPodcast@gmail.com or in the comments of anywhere you're finding us. But I think this week we learned a lot about each other. We learned that Warren hates ballads, you know?
Learned that. You knew that already.
We learned that we're hyped for TXT, which we'll definitely cover next week. But we'd like to thank you all for listening to us, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.